All right, this is Myron on the YouTube video 2. I'm going to ask you to leave a comment on the bottom of this. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube videos yet, you definitely want to do that. We've got some great stuff coming for you down the pipe, so you don't want to miss that. So I'm going to ask you to leave a comment, like this video, and feel free to repost this video on your blog, on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you want to. And if you didn't see the first video in this series, there will be a link for the first video as well as a link to the second video right below this video on this YouTube channel. So if you want to go see the first part of this series, just click the link below for the first part. If you want to see the second part, click the link below for the next segment, which will be on my blog. You can go watch it there. So here's what we're going to talk about now. We're going to talk about how to use money to buy back more time. So here's what we're talking about. I talked a little bit about the two different kinds of time we have when it comes to our life. We're only going to be here for a limited amount of time, whatever that amount of time is. Thankfully today is my dad's 80th birthday, and he's 80 years old. Everybody doesn't get to live that long. But however long you live, you want to stack as many enjoyable experiences in it. So let's segment our time into two categories just for the sake of this video. And I know we talked in a previous video about focus and balance, and you can go watch that video on my Facebook fan page if you want to. But right now I'm talking about, we're going to segment our two kinds of time. We have employment time and we have enjoyment time. And so what we want to do is, what we need to understand is these two time slots are in competition with each other. Our employment time and our enjoyment time are in competition with each other, because whatever time I spend on employment, and yeah, I can enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I'm doing right now, but this is not the same as me playing golf or hanging out with my kids. Or hanging out with my wife. This is work time. It's not the same as an experience. When I'm working, I'm actually creating an experience for somebody else. So what I want to do is I need to understand that my employment time is in conflict with my enjoyment time. That's why some of you feel so frustrated when you go to work, not because you really hate your job that much, but your job, the work that you are doing, is not allowing you to spend your enjoyment time with the people you care the most about, and therefore it feels more frustrating to you. Well, what you want to do is you want to take and collapse your employment time. That's your time that you spend engaged. And for those of you who are not employed by somebody else, you can call it your engagement time, but I like to call it employment time. That's when you're after it, you're working on it, you're doing the deals. You want to collapse those time frames so you can expand your enjoyment time frames. You collapse these time frames so you can expand these time frames. When you do that, it will take your life to another level. Learn to collapse these time frames so you can expand these. Well, how do you collapse these time frames? You do it by using what I talked about before. You do it by paying someone else to cut the grass, paying someone else to wash the car, paying someone else to do the task, even in your business, that either are distasteful to you or you're just not good at. You pay somebody else to do that. That collapses those time frames. You're not now spending time, even in your employment time, you're not spending time on the tasks that are difficult for you. You're spending time on the tasks that come easy to you. I want you to understand that even in your employment time, what you need to do is you need to learn to collapse the time frames of the things that you don't like to do so you can expand the time frames on the things you like to do. This is the way you organize and segment your life so that you can become infinitely more productive. So, here we go. How do you hire somebody? You're thinking, I can't afford to hire somebody. Yes, you can. You can afford to hire somebody. You can't afford to hire somebody maybe for $50 an hour or $10 or $20 an hour over a long period of time yet, but you can hire somebody. Now, here's what it is. You figure out what is the most distasteful task for you at home. And it could be cleaning the house, it could be cutting the grass, it could be washing the car. Whatever the most distasteful task is, you pick one thing at a time. And then in your business, you figure out how many units of whatever it is you sell that you'd have to sell in order to pay for that one thing. And so you make sure the first thing you get done every month or every week or every day if you have to. I got to sell X number. If I need to sell 4 $100 units a month to hire this person part-time, and I'm going to pay them $400 a month to clean my house, then I need to make sure I sell one $99 product a week. And that's going to pay for my housekeeper. What that's going to do, and I want you to understand how powerful this is. If that's what you do, then that one $100 sale a week that you're focused on for paying for housekeeping, that one $100 sale a week is freeing you up from the 10 or 15 or 20 hours a week you're spending right now cleaning your house or cutting your grass or whatever the thing is that's challenging for you. You use part of your money to free up your time by hiring somebody who has a service-oriented business who can serve you in that capacity. It'll save you so much time, and now your time becomes way more valuable. Why? What are you going to remember the most? The time you spent working or the time you spent in Hawaii with your family? The time you spent working or the time you spent sitting around the dinner table with your family? At the end of your life, you're going to remember the times of engagement that you had with your family, the times of enjoyment you had with the people you care the most about. The way you get that is by collapsing your employment time frames and expanding your enjoyment time frames. Now, in order for you to do that, step number one is you've got to find people who are good at what they do. Never hire cheap, poor labor. Always hire a little bit more expensive, good labor, because when you do, it will always pay for itself in spades. Never, ever go for the cheapest thing, ever, in anything. When you buy a car, don't buy the cheapest car. Don't stop being a price shopper and start being a value shopper. Remember, we talked about in last week's show that rich people know, or poor people know, the cost of everything and the value of nothing. You've got to start placing more value on the concept of value than you do on the concept of price. Stop worrying about how much stuff costs, because basically stuff costs whatever you want it to cost based on how you create your life. Now, this is how you collapse those time frames. On the next video, I'm going to give you the mathematical formula on how you can build a business and really know what that business is going to make. You can know you're going to make $100 or $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 an hour, and I'm going to show you how you can know that, how you can set that up on the next video, on video 3 of this series. I'm going to show you, because money, then the money that you make, I'm going to show you the system. The money that you make, then you do the work once and you get paid on it over and over again. I'm going to show you that concept, and I'm going to give you some examples of that on the next video on this series. So click the link below this video that takes you to video 3 or segment 3 of this series on collapsing time frames of your employment, so you can expand the time frames of your enjoyment. And I'll see you on the next video.